Alright, I'm recording already. What?
You.
Damn it. Oh. Alright, so I didn't film an intro or anything, but my father and I are going to museums and stuff. And going to hot springs. Yeah. Just filming this intro quickly, and I'm going to stop it until we get there because I'm not going to waste battery life. So, see you guys later.
You take a picture of Bender.
Bender. This really does remind me of like downtown Belvedere.
Yeah.
Except, you know, it didn't have that many hills.
Belvedere.
Wow, look at down there. There's like a giant peacock statue or something.
Yeah, it is.
Huh.
Jesus, light takes forever.
Yeah, it does. Man, your car's making that weird noise.
Yep.
It's gonna stop us in the middle of the road.
In a quarter mile, you will arrive at your destination.
So this is it. It took us, we're already here, technically.
Yeah.
So the question is, where do we want to go now?
Well, we can try.
Look how there's a subway right there.
Yeah.
Look at that damn subway.
Boutique.
Yeah, there you go. Look, it's like a gourmet subway. What the hell is this?
Let me find a place I can pull into and park. And then. God, that place looks like it's just falling apart.
Yeah.
Let me get over here.
You have arrived.
You have arrived.
You know what? We're gonna open this area if I can pull in here, and then we'll park it, kind of look and see. Oh wow, there's an old movie theater.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, there's the walk-in. Wait, no, this is a... Is that a walk-in center? I can't tell.
Can't tell.
Alright.
Well,
Old Central Theater.
yeah. Interesting.
Look at that statue.
Oh, that's cool. Alright. Oh, shit. Alright.
Krampus. There was a store called Krampus.
I'm gonna have fun getting out of here.
Man, that sun.
I know. That's kind of cool.
Hear the dogs.
Oh, look at the paintings
Yeah.
and the hats.
And Bill, I wish Bill could make it. He would have loved this.
Oh yeah.
They got books.
Oh. It's all baseball here. Sing-song gangsters. Oh, see a real Thompson machine gun. Oh, they even got newspapers.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, it's actually, is those real?
No, I think they're just made to look like old newspapers.
Wonder how much they are.
I don't know. Can always ask. Because, yeah, see how it's...
Yeah, because I would totally get that. That's cool.
Well, then they got different ones. Billions lost in stock crash.
Gangster Museum this Dana. Hello?
These hats are cool.
Yeah. Oh, they got glasses here too.
Yeah. Cards.
Yeah, I need to use that too. So
Look, brother. Put that head on.
You got it?
I'm gonna put it on right.
I would have. That was my thing as a kid.
Here, go over there in front of that door.
Yeah, they just opened up an indoor shooting range up here in Washington. You can fire them
Yeah.
full automatic if you want.
Wow.
You'll go by it on the way to that Star Wars museum.
Huh.
There's even an axe throwing place up there and everything.
Hold it up.
I never got the hang of that. I tried it a few times. I'm like, yeah, this...
Yeah, too dangerous. It bounces back and keep
Oh,
running.
man.
It's not a smile.
That's it.
Heavy?
14 gallons.
Wow.
But yeah, you'll have some things like that to take pictures with back there. So as I said, an average is about an hour and 15 minutes. 'Cause we
That's
just kinda
fine.
look at
We're
your
in no hurry.
Yeah.
This is his day.
picture. All right.
We'll be right back. Here,
Did you get some video of it?
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Looks
Thank
like
you.
you're gonna have a couple more join.
Okay.
I remember you from yesterday.
No.
Wasn't him. Can't blame him on it.
Now, to start out, this is our recreation of Hot Springs Creek. Hot Springs Creek actually runs underneath Central Avenue to this day. It is still hollow there to this day. We'll get into that, but if you all follow me to this room, I'll be showing.
All right.
My name is Warner, and I'll be your tour guide today, bringing you through the rich history of Hot Springs, our monuments, everything we're known for, illegal gambling, prostitution, really anything else legal you can think of. Now, you can take pictures and feel free to do that. The only thing we ask is you don't record the videos that will be shown here. It's the only thing we allow. Now, this room is kind of an introduction room. It'll bring you into the background history of what y'all need to know to connect all the dots to the tour. To start out, the other side of the street is actually federal land. This is city and state land. Caused for a lot of controversy. Back in the day, we had over 200 different gambling establishments on this side of the street alone. But the feds didn't like it, but they couldn't do anything because it's state land. Now the thing is, the Arlington Hotel is actually on 3rd Reincarnation. It used to be on the other side of the street. Was burned once in the 1880s, a second time in the 1920s, but when it was burning in the 1920s, it was already under reconstruction on this side of the street where it is today, undergoing remodeling. We like to say the same thing Bob Ross used to say, we had a happy little accident, but it ended up over here. And it is there to this day. Al Capone actually used to stay in that on the 4th floor, but we'll talk about him later. With that, I'm going to turn it over to the owner who's going to tell you more about Leo P. McLaughlin, the mayor of our town, who actually brought illegal gambling and everything else to this town. Now, whenever you introduce a new form of economy, you need money. And with that, we obviously had some in our town, because we were a small town, but we had some. But with that, we needed more, millions. And with that, the gangsters actually brought in, one specific gangster brought in millions of dollars into our economy. And if you follow me in this next room, I'll tell you more about him.
Okay. Take a few pictures here real quick and then.
That was cool. It mentioned Belvedere.
Yeah.
Or
I
is
don't think it was the same.
I know, but it was funny how that is.
Yeah.
Nah, Belvedere is a place that Al Capone used to hang out at, but we'll talk about it.
See, what's funny is when we lived in Illinois, we lived in a town called Belvedere. That's why we found it funny.
Well, yeah, not the same one. No, they're talking about the country club. But
Yeah.
no, we don't even have that country club anymore.
Alright.
All the lighting is so cool.
Oh, wow.
I used to work there.
Oh, nice.
Now, does anyone ever heard of Mr. Oni Madden? Also, I used to work.
Mm-mm.
That's what the same answer I always get. Oni Madden really wasn't very popular. Now, that's not going to mean he was any less of a gangster. He was very popular when we'll talk about him later in the story. Now, starting out at his young age of 15, he started being a gangster at 15. And he's a 15-year-old little man, don't listen to what he did. Now, obviously, he's 15, what can he do? Well, a bunch of 15-year-olds, he got together and called them the Gopher Gang, and they were so notable that they actually cut the guy of the mob. With that, they caused a lot of problems. The guy of the mob actually, by 25, had Oni Mad running the entire underground of New York City. His real name was Owen Vincent, but he went by Oni because he owned a little of everything. He had money in the ports, the economy, electric, water, Broadway even. But he was most known because he owned the Cotton Club, made millions of dollars off that. Now, he's not just a businessman, he's a gangster. With that, he did kill about 6 or 7 people, went to jail for about a decade. Whenever he came out, he said he was reformed. He was a new man. He was also banned from New York, the only person ever banned from the state. And with that, he needed someplace to live where he would stay for the rest of his life. And for some reason, he chose our little town of Hot Springs, Arkansas. Many people in our towns during the Depression. But with so much money going into the economy and helping people out, he needed more. With that, he used this. Does anyone know what this is?
It's like a switchboard.
It is. Back in the day, there was about a 30-minute delay at Oaklawn racetrack when the races would happen and the results were posted. In between the 30-minute delay, he would place his bets, and well, he wasn't much of a loser. Made plenty of money to pay off his debts, and so because of that, but everyone knew what he was doing, so they didn't really have a problem with it. Now, everything in that cabinet is actually from Oni Madden's house, except for the book The English Godfather. Now, the thing that probably caught your eye is that King's Ranch and Whiskey. That is priced at $3,500. The only reason I don't care is because I can't drink. With that, that's about it. But if you want to know more about Oni, you can actually go see his house to this day. It's still up, and it's actually still in our town. Walking into this room, though, I knew that almost none of y'all, if any, would know about Mr. Oni Madden. But going into this next room, I'm pretty sure all of y'all would know this man's name. If you'll go into this next room.
Yeah, stand where he is, I'm gonna take a picture.
Yep. A few here too.
Yeah, in the middle of him. Okay.
Switchboard.
Look at what the track used to look like, though. Somebody took them out, so it sounds like. Look how many people was in there. Just like that one for me. Yeah.
No, it was someone else.
Huh?
It was his tribe.
I love looking at the old artwork.
Mm-hmm.
It's just always neat to me. Whoops. Okay, wrong way.
That's a cool looking old record player. Look at that there.
Yeah. I got a picture of it. It's cool.
Wonder if it still works.
Oh, I doubt it. But we haven't had to use it, so.
It's a shame. It would have been cool if it worked.
It's just a crank, totally. Going in here?
Yes, if y'all go down the hallway, you'll find. Don't be scared of Miss Ruby whenever y'all get over there.
Okay.
I'm not. I didn't want to do.
Oh, wow, it's so dark in here.
I know. Hey, this is where you can change into Superman.
Oh, yeah, no, I didn't. No, I
Come
worked at the one last year. I did the same really in Ben for
We'll
years.
take a picture.
Yeah, I worked in the men's locker room. Oh,
That's
somewhere.
cool.
Oh, wow, look at this.
Oh, that's cool. Here, we can take a picture back.
Can we get inside it?
I'm getting excited, brother.
Oh, it's Capone.
Is this after he was dead? No?
Yeah,
Pretty dead there to me.
Turn around. Go sit down.
Oh, right.
Oops. Darn it.
95, so he lived to 29. Father? Whoa!
Yeah, that's just Ruby. She's a madam.
Look at that old car.
Yeah.
We'll be talking about her. Now, the giant gold letters in the back wall didn't tell you whose room this was. This is Al Capone's. Here's what actually start out talking about his car. He used to drive an armored Cadillac. Now, do we have any Dallas Cowboys fans in here?
Yes!
Oh, I'm sorry. But supposedly Mr. Jerry Jones, owner of the Dallas Cowboys, is the owner of Al Capone's armored Cadillac. It's actually driven by two presidents, President Hoover and FDR. Now you'll find out the connection with FDR's father and Al Capone later. Hoover said it was nicer than his armored vehicle. It's pretty nice. Next thing is this cabinet of medicinal alcohol. Back in the day during Prohibition, when alcohol was legal, you could still get it. It was just prescribed by doctors. It was to make pain go away. This is still used by parents to this day, not by doctors anymore. If you look in the back, you'll see a picture of Al Capone's cell in the Eastern State Penitentiary. In those dates, he wasn't there for, he was truly only there for a year. Because everyone said he was looking for a gruesome jail, there's no point in him being in there. He actually also had a phone in there that he was able to call and keep his business going while he was in jail. Yep, he paid off the warden so heavily that the warden would actually eat dinner without the phone depending on the night. Wasn't looking too bad, and everyone was complaining, so they left him back in this 1 year. Over here, you'll notice the pictures of Al Capone's family. James Vincenzo Capone is separated because he went by James Vincent and was actually a cop. Now, he was frowned upon in his family because obviously, well, if you're a cop and a family full of gangsters, you're not really part of the group. The other person knows is Frank Capone in the top middle. Frank Capone, sadly enough, closed his eyes during a photo. That is because he is dead. He's actually being held up. But the person who killed him, they're taking a recollection of what he looked like. Now, does anyone know what this is?
Still.
It is. He was a big fan of our moonshine. He actually wanted to distribute it, but during Prohibition, distributing any type of alcohol was legal. So what's he going to do? Well, he's going to buy a bunch of Mountain Valley water bottles, sneak it onto their cars, and distribute it all across the country. But obviously, you don't want to give your kids water or moonshine instead of water. So he had to find a little trick that would make it to where you could find out the trick. If you look closely, the label's flipped upside down. This little trick, everyone thought it was just a misprint. But in reality, it was just a little trick that he did to where everyone would believe that whenever he could distribute it on their Mountain Valley cars and from here to Malvern to the rest of the country. He made plenty of money off of this. He did it out of Belvedere Dairy. It's just actually have a positive impact on society while outlaws don't. I told you about Mr. Oni Madden's. He flooded money into the economy and helped out other people in other ways. Now, Al Capone actually had two. First thing was he started soup kitchens. His first soup kitchen was actually orchestrated by Mr. Al Capone. The other thing actually helps out all of you all too. Now, his big mama's boy growing up, and with that, he actually got irritated with milk because one time his mom got sick from expired milk. Now, with that, he wasn't too happy, so he fought in court for 2.5 years, making it a requirement for the expiration date on your milk. Now, I'm saying, Mr. Al Capone, next time you have to go buy some. With that, we'll be coming back to all the gangsters, outlaws, and wild lawbreakers in just a little bit. For now, we're going to take a little break. If you'll follow me into our next exhibit, that is our baseball exhibit, where we'll talk about this first start of shooting training.
Sorry.
Never
Wow, look at that radio there.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a picture of that too. Oops. Oh, come on.
I'll meet you in the other room, Dad.
All right. We'll be there in just a second.
Her brother, come stand my way.
Oh wow, baby.
Or in this room, that's what we're talking about, sort of spring training. Now, it actually started with a team called the Chicago White Stockings, which will later become
White Sox.
the Cubs. Back then, the White Stockings came here because our natural spring water, the bathhouses, and because of them, they were able to rejuvenate their bodies and they didn't have very many repercussions. Plus, the players loved it. They got to have good nights with the madams, and they got to gamble. So with that, they didn't have much of a problem with that. Now, actually, we have a landmark in here. We have the second longest home run in history here. It was hit from what used to be a baseball field, but it's now in the middle of a parking lot. Still marked to this day, though. From there, 512 feet approximately, into the Hot Springs Alligator Farm. There are tons, to the left of them have Hall of Famers, but to the right of them have world-winning gangsters. We're pretty cool, pretty terrifying. If you're wanting to know more about our baseball history, you can come back here and actually you can take one of those pamphlets with you and it'll lead you around our town showing you all our baseball landmarks. We actually have about 50 if I remember correctly, and you can go see all those with that. But enough about the legal stuff. We're going back to the illegal stuff, such as the gangsters and outlaws. In this next room will be our outlaw room. You'll learn about people like Machine Gun Kelly, not the music guy, but Pretty Boy Floyd, and that one couple. What are their names? Bonnie
and Clyde.
And if you'll go into this next room, I'll tell you more about them.
Pictures here.
Oops, sorry.
Done it on this hallway.
Oh, I didn't even notice that area back there. Oh, wow. That's cool.
I'll tell you about that in just a second.
Hey, Dad.
Yep.
There's a guy in jail right here.
Is there?
Well, in this room, that's what y'all would be talking about our outlaws. Now, in the video, you'll hear about Machine Gun Kelly and Pretty Boy Floyd because they came to the Spot City quite often. Added on to this, you'll talk about Alvin Creepy Carpus. He was another outlaw. He was actually public enemy #1 for a while, and he was actually married to Miss Grace Goldstein. He'll be telling you all about his memories of the day out on the Alcatraz. Miss Grace Goldstein is a madam. For all those who know what that is, good for you. For all those who don't know what that is, I'm not telling you. She's a madam of a place called the Hattery. The Hattery is actually, we got permission from her specifically to name our hat store outside after hers. Now, the other thing I want to tell you all about before I start this video, there's two more things. First of all is this. Now, this young man right here actually noticed this, and the first thing he noticed. This is a death mask. For those who don't know what that is, they would cover your face in silicone and plaster and get a recollection of what you looked like. This was obviously done because, cameras weren't that shown, and they wanted to keep what, back in the day, what Grandpa looked like. They wanted to know what he looked like. This is John Doe Slangs. He was another big outlaw back in the day, and there's only 3 of these death masks in existence. We own one, the Forensic Science Museum of Washington, D.C. owns one, and the coroner owns the third one. He was going to sell it off for a pretty penny whenever he got low, but it's still in his family to this day. Now, ours has one aspect that's different than the rest. If y'all thought of them holding up that dead body for the picture was gross, this is even worse. If you flip this over, there are 2 of his eyelashes still engraved in the back of this mask. I'd show y'all, but I don't want to because that's nasty.
Oh,
Now, in this video, you'll learn about Bonnie and Clyde and why they came here, but you'll actually learn more specifically about an injury that Bonnie gets, or how she obtains this injury. This will actually lead to their inevitable death, so I want y'all to remember how she got this injury, and I'll actually tell y'all about how they died and how it connects to our town. Now, did anyone specifically hear what it was that she got injured?
A wreck?
It was a car accident.
Her crash.
Now, because of that, they came here quite often because she said the only thing that made her feel better was those natural healing waters in the bathhouse that I told you about earlier. Same reason Al Capone actually came here. Al Capone had syphilis, and so he would come here for the same reason. But with that, she had to come here quite often, and because of that, there were some times when the feds would be in town and Miss Grace Goldstein would warn everyone. They'd have to go underground, they'd have to leave, they'd have to go hide, or do whatever they needed to so they weren't caught. So they left, they did another heist, they hit their sister's place in Texas. They were on their way back here whenever they shot down in Louisiana, about 80 miles from Arkansas's border. See, if they would have had Al Capone's Cadillac, they might have made it back. But sadly, if they didn't, then that was the end of their story. But our story doesn't end here. It falls onto the New York Gallery, where I'll tell you about 3 other gangsters who came here to talk to some old geezer.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
Now this room is going to start out with a man called Louisiana. Now he actually led the mob after Oni left, and with that he had a hitman, Mr. Albert Anastasia, with him. Now it went like you'd expected. Well, he called the shots, and and Anastasia shot the shots. With that, like he was being responsible because he came down here quite often. He came down here to talk to a certain man. But he was, like I said, he was being irresponsible. He was walking on the promenade on the other side of the street. And I told y'all the feds don't like us walking on their land. So he was arrested on the promenade, about a quarter mile that way. You can actually see his picture right there. With that, and Anastasia's heading forcer out of the picture, he got to do as he wanted to do and shoot his own shots, but he needed direction. With that, he came down here also quite often after Lucky was out of the picture to seek advice from the same man Lucky did. With both of them out of the picture, Mr. Frank Costello actually took over the mob and did what he wanted to. But I think y'all can guess it, he also came down here to speak with the same man. Does anyone have any idea who I'm talking about? Oni Madden. I told y'all about him earlier, and I told y'all no gangster goes legit. This is about 20 years after Oni supposedly retired from the mob, but all of these big name people were coming down here just to speak to him. Even Al Capone would come down here and talk to Mr. Oni Madden. Everyone always talked to him. Now, obviously, we can't confirm anything, but we believe Oni was still leading the mob, or at least something with them, from all the way down here in Hot Springs, just because he was banned from New York. We can't confirm anything, but it makes more sense than they just came down here and they got a cup of tea with them.
I was wondering what that knocking was.
Person that scared him.
Oh, wow. It's a good
So we know.
That's funny.
Did Daddy feel lucky to win the game?
No.
Well, if you're feeling lucky though, you can make things on your roulette table, actually have a cross table behind the door, and the slot machine, only this one though, does still work. I was almost feeling lucky. Now, before I start this video, because this video will actually tell you about the collapse and why we're not a big illegal gambling town, I want to tell you about a couple things. Starting out in the very back is actually showing of our taxes. Now, it's only about half our businesses, because I told you we had over 200. But it gives you a rough idea on how much money we're making, and it'll give you a good idea on how independent we were. Also, all of these are real and usually over at least 50 to 60 years old. They're very old.
Wow.
Added on to that, this is a first generation saw machine right here. Now, the first thing you'll notice probably is the crank is this big. Obviously, that's the first thing to change it. Added on to the top being glass. Whenever you're irritated with not winning money, what do?
Hit it.
Exactly. Because of that, most of these were shattered. This is the only one we know that's still in existence that is in this good shape. So both those were changed to what you can see nowadays as the slot machines. The other thing you'll notice is probably these payouts. 4 tenths and 5 ninths. Not a lot of money if you're betting your money. I like how nowadays are when I can bet it and know exactly how much I'm getting because of that little screen. I can only do that in 50 to 60 years, and it was actually 2 years ago that we had an all-time high number of people entering the town of money gained. But it really should show you on how dependent we were on illegal everything, really. Now, with that, I've told y'all about all these different people, and we're going to just start discussing something different about the illegal gamblers. Now, the gangsters and stuff, I told y'all about different ones like Al Capone and Bonnie and Clyde that went to the other side of the street to bathe in the bathhouses. I also told y'all that Mr. Lucky Luciano got arrested for going over there. Difference is that Lucky was walking on the ground. Everyone else walked under it. Underneath Central Avenue, there's a secret group of tunnels that connect the buildings of there to Central Avenue and the Hot Springs Creek that I've told you about. And supposedly, all these people would go and bowl inside of a hidden bowling alley made for gangsters underneath Central Avenue. Can't tell you any more about that right now, but if you follow me to this next room, I'll tell you more. And let y'all find out if this bowling alley is truly real. Let's see. feeling lucky.
Oh wow.
I haven't had luck. There was a lady who came in here a couple weeks ago. She was wearing a shirt
This
that
is like an
said
old
lucky.
theater.
It is.
Look at it.
Well, that's cool.
Wow. That is so cool.
Uh-huh.
I was like, you feeling lucky today, man? She goes, yes, I am. I said, well, your luck got right off to me. She goes, I hope so. I hold that. And I was like, what the heck? I've worked here for a month and I've never won.
That's funny.
Now, in this room, we'll talk about the Hot Springs Creek and really this hidden bowling alley. Now, for all of people who live here, it was just a myth. But we did find out it is truly real, supposedly, is what we're going to say that. Now, the owner of the museum was able to go underground and actually record his findings. Now, it's illegal to go under there because it's not safe. The hot springs make it really hot down there, and the steam is just not really good for you. With that, he got permission from the state to go under there and bypass all those, illegal trespassing laws and all that other stuff to be able to go visit this. With that, he's going to tell you more about this. But for now, I'm going to take a little break for that, and I'm going to tell you about a couple other things in this room. First of all, in the very back far left, you'll see a picture of a cathedral. That's actually the end of Central Avenue. I believe it's a Presbyterian church now. But supposedly, Al Capone will go in there for confessions. Even gangsters pray to God. Back in the day, this building was also used inside of a movie. Now, does that look familiar inside of a movie perspective? Well, if you can imagine a giant silver orb on top, that originally was the Daily Planet in the original Superman movie.
Interesting.
A lot of people like old rustic architecture, and so because of that they would use or come down here and film movies. With that, I'll stop blabbering and I'll let y'all find out if this real bowling alley was real. Conclusion to our tour. I hope y'all enjoyed it, learned enough, and if you didn't, I hope y'all don't hate me for it. With that, if you want to take pictures, the machine gun, or you can take pictures with the machine gun, we just request you don't drop it on your foot. It's really heavy. It is actually a real machine gun. The only thing is it has the stuff taken out of it. This little gentleman over here held it earlier. So I can tell, was it heavy? Exactly. So just don't drop it on us. The other thing is, if you want to take a picture with Al Capone, ladies might just want to be a little weary with that left hand. He was known to be a womanizer. With that, whenever y'all are ready, y'all can head out this left door, and I hope y'all have a good day.
Thank you. You want to take a picture of your gun?
Yeah, sure, why not?
You want me to do the videotape? Or
You take the picture and I'll just like put it on my
Okay.
video or something.
Years old,
Wow.
and it still plays to this day.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is cool.
You want to touch those keys? You can.
I love this like old style like theater. It's really cool.
We actually have one of our guys who plays the drums. He's a percussionist, and he comes in here and he'll just start playing.
Yeah, I know nothing about music and musical theory, but
Oh no, I'm not a big music guy. I can play instruments and I can, sing a low tone. Other than that, I'll pass on everything else.
I was trying to learn guitar, but I just don't.
I
have
want to
that.
learn guitar. I'm
No, I
planning on
tried
trying it.
Same, but I couldn't get into it.
Yeah,
I'm a trombonist.
nice. Very cool.
Well, thank you so much for that. That was a really good tour.
Yep, good educational tour.
Oh wow, I like how it comes right out here.
Yep.
I said we go to Hot Springs, and he told me my grandfather. And he said, oh, my grandfather was in Detroit. That's cool.
Yeah.
What do you think of that one?
So it takes about an hour tour. It's about 11:30.
No.
Probably get some lunch soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't, the church.
I'm also very thirsty.
well, thank you.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was really fun. I had a good time.
He actually really became big
Well,
in Cuba.
let's see what they got down here and get something to drink, maybe. Well, I hope we can just go in there.
Yeah, I hope so too. Wow.
Right.
What?
Right. We're being in the dark area. It's bright now.
That theater was so cool.
Yeah.
I would
It
have.
was awesome when they actually went underground.
Yeah.
A freaking bowling
Oh, there's an
alley
ice cream shop right there.
Well, I wonder if they have anything sugar free.
I don't know.
Look at this stuff.
Oh wow.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it is. I can also look up on my phone other museums that could be around here,
Yeah.
which is really cool. Yeah, I'm not sure where to get a drink at.
I bet you they have something in there. There's that bathhouse.
Oh wow, so that's literally where the mob went to, right there.
Yep. Go get their spas.
Like literally across the street.
Yep.
It's weird to think that there's an underground
Yeah.
freaking city
We're
right.
standing above where you could actually go underground.
That's really weird.
But you don't even know where the bowling alley was because that guy didn't even know exactly.
Yeah,
Because I think there's that hotel.
yeah. That was cool. You know, the gun is actually not super heavy. It was like,
No heavier than what you're used to.
yeah. Sure as hell wouldn't want to drop it on you. That would be like, ah!
Right on my foot. Ouch.
It'd be like something out of a cartoon where you're jumping up and down with your toe hurting.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna stop the video.